Hello friends, welcome to BISP trainings. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a line chart using Chart.js. Chart.js is a library for showing the meaningful data in the form of charts like line chart, bar chart, etc. In this part of video, we will extract the data, perform some activities like filtration process, and create some extra functions, and then we pass the variables to the Chart.js library in JavaScript in the form of parameters. Let me show you. First, I will show you a normal structure of Chart.js, how it works, and where you can get the code. Let's see. Today we are going to render the charts. See how to render the charts. First of all, we will extract the data from CSV or a database table. You can extract any of these sources. I will explain you both the ways. Next, filter the data according to the requirement. That means filtering the data between two given dates, because whenever you want to show the charts, you must need a start date and an ending date. Then convert them into the form of list and data sets, the way that Chart.js understands. Then only it can be able to show the data into the form of charts. Next, send them using dictionary. We send the data from views.py file to HTML file. Now, these are the parameters required in charts: labels, dataset, and data. Data is a set of value, and if there are more than datasets, then datasets is a collection of these data, and labels means that you see in x-axis. See here, this is the normal structure of charts in Chart.js. This is the canvas. It is written in body tag, and this part is written in the JavaScript tag. I will show you how it works. So first of all, let me show you this is our lead analytics application, and in my introductory video, I have already mentioned that we are offering this project or application in as a training project. So today we are going to render this first chart. See, this is the first chart. This what is STD YTD I have already explained in my last video. You can view my previous videos for more information. Now, if I show you direct the code, there are so many charts. It will be difficult for you to understand the code of one chart. So what I have done here, I have taken this code into a separate simple project, and then I will explain how it works, right? Here also STD, YTD, QTD, and MTD. So today we are going to learn this part. Now see, first of all, where the structure you can get. Let me show you Chart.js. Chart.js, yes. See, this is the library of Chart.js. This is the website. You can see the samples here. This is a line chart sample, and if you press Control U, you will get the structure of this. Not a big deal. You will get everything here. After that, options and all these things you can get here. That is what I have explained it in this simple structure, right? So here today we are going to see this how it is rendered. First of all, come to the coding part. Now see here, in my last video I have explained how to upload the CSV file. Here, how to upload the CSV file. Now in this part I will show you how to render the chart. By default it is showing YTD because right now there is no submit button clicked, right? So let's see the code here. Line chart, this function will be executed when you press chart button. Now see, if the method is post, then it will take the selected option. Otherwise it will take the criteria by default YTD. I have taken the variable criteria. So this is the criteria list: STD, YTD, QTD, and MTD, right? Now finding out the previous dates and current date. Now suppose if it is by default it is taken YTD. YTD means year to date. Year to date means 1st of January 2020 till yesterday. So today's date we receive here like this, today's date. That is GT date time today string strf time. But how can we get the previous date? Suppose the criteria is MTD, that means month to date. Then we will take the previous date like this, YM and 01. By default, we will give 01. If it is YTD, that means 1 and percentage Y means current year. By default, it will take current month, current year. QTD. Now QTD means in a year there are 4 quarters. So current quarter is second quarter. This is the month of May. So this is the procedure to get the current quarter. Quarter begin date. Previous date. In this way we get the previous date. Quarter start STRF time YMD. And in STD we have taken 1st of January 2015. The day history to date. The day when business starts. Now see here. We have extracted the dates, right? Now we will read the CSV. This is the procedure for reading from data table. I will show you how it is possible to read the data from the table. This is the process. We will discuss it later. If criteria is STD, now see here, criteria STD means history to date. We have filtered the data, between two dates. See, this is the filtering of data. That means we have extracted the data between these two dates, 1st of January till yesterday. If quarter to date, so this is the procedure to get the data between 1st of April till yesterday, because quarter to date, right? Another is month to date. Now see here we have created a method. See here, this is the create MTD chart data cumulative. Suppose I have if I have selected MTD. MTD, suppose today there are 6th of May. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But suppose if somebody clicks this button or somebody see this chart at the 31st of May, in that case there are so many dates overlapping each other. So to avoid this, we have written this function. What it will do, it will extract all the data from that data set, data frame. And if the current date is greater than 14, current days, diff days means end date minus begin date. That means 1st of May till yesterday. If it is greater than 14, then it will show the data in the form of week number. Otherwise, it will show the data in the form of date, right? And see here it is written. We have returned the data. So this is called the MTD. Where is it? Yes, MTD here. If criteria is YTD, suppose if I selected YTD, then the previous date will be the 1st of January. Today's date will be the yesterday's date, that is today's date, that is 6th of May. And in this way, we filter the data between these two dates. Now, what is this group by? Suppose if I am asked to show the data in the form of quarter like this. Right now it is showing quarter, but suppose if somebody asks me to show the data in January, February, March, in that case, this is the January, February, March. Let me show you. Here is, let's comment this. Now see, it will show the data in the form of January, February, March. January, February, March, April, May. See. So there are two ways of showing the data. If If it is required to show January to my month data, then you can show it month wise, and you can show it quarter wise also. These are the two function two codes are written here. Now see here, data grouped df lead list. The main thing we want to show is come sum. What is come sum? Suppose we are showing the lead trends. That means how much we receive in January, how much we receive in February. See, this is not negative. This will never be negative. Why? Because in February month, we show the data of February plus January, the previous month. In March month, we show the data of March plus February. So always it is increasing. It will never be negative. Now, that is why this cum sum is used. If you want to show how much received in this month or how much received in that month, then cum sum is not necessary. But if you want to show the trend, how we receive the data, in that case, cum sum is used. See, what is this color list length? Color list length means, suppose if I make here line chart, if I make here bar chart, this color list is used when the data is shown in the form of bars like this. QTD like this. So this color list is used. Color list, begin date, and the diff days, that is the end of date. Last X days means, see here. Here it is written last 35 days. Suppose if I write here YTD, last 126 days. So this is the last X days we have calculated diff days. Now after getting all this data, all this filtered data, what we will do, we will create a dictionary at the beginning of this. We have already created a dictionary. Now in this dictionary we fill the data, label title, labels, data, colors, criteria, and last X days, criteria and criteria list, and we pass it through dictionary. Now let's come to the line chart HTML. Now see here, for this using chart.js, we need to add some chart and canvas library like this. This is the chart.js library, chart.bundle.js, and the canvas.canvasjs.min.js. These two libraries you have to attach, right? After that, see here, this is the canvas that I have shown you the simple structure of this canvas. Canvas is written in body tag, right? So canvas is written in body tag, this my chart 11. I have taken the variable my chart 11. After that, ctx, variable ctx, this is the syntax of writing from beginning to end of this chart.js, right? So what we can do here, only we can make changes here, labels. Since it is a dynamic, so pipeline safe, and then double curly brackets inside this data sets. These are the main parameters that I have already shown you. Parameters, labels, data sets, and data. Labels, data set, and data. This is the data sets. This is the data. This is the color that we have already taken. We have created the list of colors. After that, everything you can make changes like this: label string, scale label string, last X days. Another is title. Label title means this. You can see here this label title in black background. This is the label title. So now everything is set, and in this way we can show the data. Another way is, so this is what we have done with the help of CSV. Now suppose if I don't want to use this CSV, I want to extract the data from the data table. In that case, what we have done here, see, leads data dot objects dot all. This is the model name. In my last video, I have already shown this. What is leads data? This is the model. See here. This is the model here. This is the model we have created. So Another is variable read CSV read frame. What it does, the object's data is converted into the data frame. Object is converted into the data frame. Then read data date ES type. We have to convert this date into ES type, otherwise it won't work. Now it becomes like this. pd.csv read CSV, whatever we receive in the form of data frame, now it becomes like this. Now variable underscore read CSV will work everywhere here, like this. Now suppose this is quarter one. Let me show you in January, February, March. I have already shown you. So this is the commented codes. Why it is commented here? Because currently we are showing in quarters form, right? And another is create MTD chart data cumulative. Why cumulative? Because if it is greater than 14, then we will show in a week wise. Just because of this, we have created. One more thing is there. Suppose, where is it? Yes, suppose if I am showing this data in the form of month, let me show you. YTD. But it is necessary to show the data in the serial sequence. Normally, if you don't use this formula, this function, if you don't use this function, then it will never be in January. First, it will show February or March, because it takes the sequence as it receives from the CSV table or CSV file. So that is why we need to arrange the data in the form of this sequence. So that is why sort by serial months. So this function is written for sorting the data into the serial months and get range from week. See here, suppose if I write here quarter to date like this. See week 14, week 16, week 17, week 19. Getting the range, but we have to get the first date also. We have to get the date of first date of every week. So this function is used for getting the, see here, getting the current date of first date of every week. So these two functions are additionally written for arranging the data into the proper way. So in this way, and here we can change it into the bar chart to line chart. Like again, I'm changing it to the line chart like this. It should be in serial order only. This is for week 14. That means the beginning of May. Week 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like this. So in showing a simple line chart also, we need to follow all these procedures. First, let's have a quick recap. First, we will extract the data from the CSV or data table, whichever you want. After that, we will filter the data between two dates. Then what we will do here, if the month is here, then we have to take care that if it is greater than 14 days, suppose if somebody has clicked it on 28th of May, then 27 bars, that not look good, that will not look proper way. So we have to write this function cumulative, if greater than, date greater than 14, date greater than less than 14, like this. And then finally we send the data in the form of dictionary, like this. And as far as line chart structure is concerned, there is nothing, only write canvas and uh, provide your ID here, supplying ID, and then labels, dataset. This structure almost the same. This is almost same for every type of charts. In every chart you have to provide dataset, data data and labels. Now, so today we have learned here how the line chart is rendered, line chart, or we can say bar chart. So in our next video, we will see how these stacked bar chart are rendered and on the basis of given conditions. Right now in this chart, There is no any condition, only date condition is there, that's it. But future, in future, show the data in this current quarter till yesterday on the basis of sources. So in my next lecture we will see how these stacked charts are rendered, right? So I hope you will find it quite interesting. And this is the charts JS library. It is easily available. So guys, in our next video we will see the stacked chart, how it works. So guys, thanks for watching the video. Thank you.